she was. I also knew that she was just this gorgeous girl that I would never have a chance with, so I just waved and said hi to everybody and went back to what I was doing. I was hanging out with a couple of friends of mine for St. Patrick's Day because I've never really had a St. Patrick's Day off. So one of the first times ever I got to sit in a bar and drink green beer, and I didn't have to work. So, and then she came over and introduced herself, and we clicked.
Most romantic quality. He actually does a lot of things romantic. He's very surprising with that. He'll leave me notes by the coffee pot telling me good morning and have a good day and that he loves me. He'll bring me coffee in bed, which is one of my favorite things. Takes me out on dates, and he remembers the little things, the things that you would think that most men wouldn't care about, dates, and just really going the extra mile. He really pays a lot of attention to detail.
Who asked who out? I guess you would say she asked me out first. It wasn't really. She just told me that she was going to go to a concert at the Broad Stop. I think it was Megan Ruger was in town, and she told me she was going to be there and I should show up. And I worked that day, and then I just went right to the Broad Stop and met her there, and we watched the show together. And then afterwards, I went to ask her out on a date,
and he pulled me off to the side and he stuttered for about 10 minutes straight, and I could tell he was trying to ask me to dinner. So I finally just took the pain away from him. I was like, dinner? Friday? 6? Sure. So I had to take over.
So the first real date, I found out her favorite food was Italian. I knew that she really liked the Richmond restaurant, Paisanos, or I think it's Paisanos.
Our first date, he came and picked me up, and he was on time, which is great. It's a big thing for me, being on time. So he brought me some flowers, and he had already done a little pre-digging and kind of found out what my favorite food was. So we ended up in an Italian restaurant, which was really good. And we went there and we ate. And then, the date went so well, we didn't want the date to be over, so we ended up having martinis at another place. And then we ended up going to another place, and then another place after that, and we didn't want the date to end. It was just the perfect date.
So then we dated for 4 more days after that.
Yes. We were on our 5-day stretch of not having the kids, so we went every single night on a date. It was always something different, whether it just be at each other's house, having takeout, or just having some wine, and it was just a never-ending 5 days. It was really great.
Last time we talked about this, you mentioned the salad that I had.
Oh, yeah. He had a salad on our first date. That was weird.
I was way into my new diet.
We don't talk about your diet.
Oh, yeah. I looked good.
Justin's best quality is he's very thoughtful. He really is the most selfless person I've ever met. He takes care of everybody else before himself. He just always puts himself on the bottom of the list and just makes sure that everybody's so happy around him and that everybody's taken care of. And he just really goes that extra way to take care of everybody.
Casey is an amazing parent and step-parent. When I first met her, she was very, very protective of her 2 boys, and I could tell they were her whole world, and she took very good care of them, made sure they had everything they need, protected them. I've gotten her to loosen up a little bit, let them do some things they weren't allowed to do before, but now she's a very incredible step-parent also. She treats my children like they're her own.
He's a very, very good parent. He's He's kind of more the laid back one. I would say I'm the more disciplinary because of his job. He takes care of everybody all day. He doesn't want to come home and do that. But he's very laid back. He actually really does a really good job balancing me out because I'll kind of get upset about something and he'll be like, really, is that such a big deal? But the kids just absolutely love hanging out with him. He's so good about getting out there and playing laser tag with them or jumping with them or doing all sorts of, he's just a very hands-on parent. I admire the kind of parent that Justin is, and I wish that I'd be a little bit more like that because he's just so much more laid back and let them be kids than I am.
Every Wednesday, I'll get them and I'm like, oh, does Casey have to work tonight? Yeah. Or if they didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her when she went to work, they were upset. Or
I will say, I have become super close to Riley and Gavin, but especially Riley. But Gavin and I, we are really working on, we're becoming so close. I'm like, just every single morning I drop him off to school and all kids just say goodbye, 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 and Gavin makes it a point and he goes like right in front of my face and he's like, hey, Casey, I love you. Have a great day. He does it every morning. Know that? Oh my God. Man, we can't do this. I quit. Hold on, I need some tea.
I was excited to meet Casey, and Dad said a lot of good things about her, so I was really excited to get to know her and stuff. And yeah. I felt kind of weird, and kind of surprised when I first thought of him. When I first saw him, I thought he was. Is he nice or is he not nice? And then when the day went on, he was really nice. He's really nice. To be honest, I was kind of nervous because I didn't want them to break up again because then my dad would be really sad. But then when I first started to meet Casey, I noticed that she was really nice and Dad really liked her and Casey really liked Dad, so I wasn't nervous anymore. It was really fun when we went to his house and meeting Gavin and Riley. It was really fun. Yeah. And then they told me that my mom was going to marry Justin. I'm like, I put my hands over my mouth and ran around the playground because I got so freaked out. He would, at night when we were supposed to be sleeping, Casey would come over and they'd watch movies and stuff, and me and Gavin would be awake and we'd go and we'd spy on them.
this is a good story. So I thought the engagement had to be very special because she was a very special person. So I did a lot of research and I put a lot of thought into how I was going to do it. I didn't want to just take her out somewhere and get down on one knee and ask her to marry me. So I ended up contacting multiple family and members and friends and put together a scavenger hunt. And I used all of our important places that we've gone together in our relationship as stops for her along the way.
The day that Justin proposed to me, I will say I kind of had a gut feeling that something was going on. I was supposed to meet my sister for breakfast. We were going to go to Lake Geneva and Egg Harbor. And I kind of knew what was going on, so I decided to kind of mess with Justin back and say, I'm going to cancel. I don't want to go out to dinner with or breakfast with my sister. And he was really pushing for me to go, so I just kind of knew that something was up. And I ended up leaving to go to breakfast with her.
She was supposed to go to breakfast with her sister and be gone for a while. So I was like, is as soon as she left, I was like, all right, we all have to get dressed and get ready. And
All of a sudden, my dad's like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna ask Casey to like marry me and stuff. And he explained everything to me, like what's gonna happen. So we all had to get ready, and Justin's like, hey guys, I would go get dressed up really nice, do your hair and everything. It was kind of weird because that's just like, go get changed, look really nice, because we didn't really know what was gonna happen. And I wore a really weird outfit, which is not important, but I just didn't like my outfit. And so we went to the brat stop and we waited.
And then instead of turning one way to go to Lake Geneva, she turned a different way. And then we started pulling into Tiki, Sandbar, where I used to work. And it was weird because Sandbar was closed. It was off season.
it started out at the Tiki Bar with her friend Jackie at the time, and Jackie took her there, and there was a note waiting for her,
and it was a clue on where to go next. And it was from Justin. And then the next clue that it took me to was to go to Main Street. So Jackie, Christy, my sister, and I all went to Main Street and we had a drink. And the bartender gave us the next clue of where to go next. And so the three of us girls all traveled together to Wilmot Mountain, where we met up with Justin's parents, who gave me the next clue as to where to go. And the next clue was actually supposed to be where we had our first date, but then it was scratched off because it said, sorry, turns out the restaurant is closed. Meet me at Brat Stop. And that's actually where we seen our first concert together there.
wanted to make sure the kids were involved.
Yes, that was a big thing for me. If we were to ever get engaged, I wanted the kids involved. And if the kids were not there, I didn't want to. So I walked in and
Casey showed up, and when she got there, somebody, I forgot who it was, frantically handed us these signs to hold up and stuff. I forgot.
It said, Mom, will you marry our dad?
That was Mom, will you? And then the other sign was marry our dad.
Marry our dad.
Yeah.
And so it was, the kids were involved, the family was involved, and it was just perfect. And I forgot to say yes because I was so overwhelmed and it was so exciting. And finally he said, will you or what? And I was like, oh my God, yes. My favorite thing to do as a family.
Well,
Camping. Yeah, camping. Yeah. Swimming. We all went on the trampoline once, and I dumped a water bottle on my dad's lap.
We love to camp. We have a camper, or a glamper, and we just love to camp. We love every family memory to do with that, and that's our thing. That's our thing together as a family and as a couple.
I feel like the kids love to come home to us because they have the yard and the pool and the trampoline, and they have hoverboards, and
They had a lot of fun with us.
there's so much that we like to enjoy as a family. We got a dog this year.
This is Charlie Bucket. Say hi, Charlie.
The little rascal in the family.
We got him in July, and he's our little brother.
I thought we got him in June.
And when we got him, he was tired. But when we got him, he was 2 pounds, and now Dad said he's
5.5 pounds.
6 at the fire last night. But he's our little baby.
We already had kids and we didn't have a dog together. Now we got Charlie. And he completed everything we ever wanted. He's just perfect. So now we have our kids and we have Charlie.
I ended up finding a house for rent, and it was an 1800s farmhouse that was something she always remembered and always talked about, is how much she loved the old farmhouse style. So we moved in and we fell in love with the house, and we
loved it.
convinced the owner eventually to finally sell it to us, and now it's ours.
Yes. And we have the most perfect house I could ever imagine. And it's ours.
Except for this crack.
It is perfect. It's exactly what we've ever wanted. It is our perfect little farmhouse, and it's our house. And I feel like we've completely made it our own. Like,
Things turned out perfectly. The kids love the house.
Christopher
In
wants to
fact,
buy the house
yeah,
from us in the
one
future.
of them wants to keep it in the family for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So,
Christopher wants to buy it.
yeah. But they love the yard. We ended up making it our own place with our own memories.
It's all gonna all flow in together.